After 5 weeks on the run, a tip leads authorities to the small town of Okolona, Mississippi. On February 24th, the Tupelo Police Department and the FBI SWAT team prepare to make the arrest.
I was able to track them and their movements, but I was always about a day or two behind.
After 5 weeks on the run, a tip leads authorities to the small town of Okolona, Mississippi. On February 24th, the Tupelo Police Department and the FBI SWAT team prepare to make the arrest.
We drove up to the residence and our team exited our vehicle and we took a position of cover behind some of our vehicles. And Mr. Kennard came out with his hands up, making sure that we knew that there was no threat involved.
The game is finally up for Abraham Kennard.
It was very quiet. He did not resist. And they took him into custody and took him back to Atlanta.
1 year later, Abraham Kennard stands trial for fraud. From the beginning, he sidelines his court-appointed attorney.
Abraham Kennard gave his own opening statement and at one point looked at the jury and said that the government was trying to hang him on the cross, and he put his arms up like this.
And Pastor John Payton is one of 17 church leaders to take the stand.
He would always claim he was in the spirit. It's almost like he was going to blame God for anything he did. God led me to do that. God told me to say that.
After cross-examining a half-dozen witnesses, Kennard puts the case back into his attorney's hands.
His claim was that he did not do the things that he did with the goal or notion of trying to victimize these ministries, these people. He truly intended to try and assist and help them. And it was in large measure the government's intervention in freezing his accounts that prevented him from completing his goals.
It's an argument that's difficult to make.
We had more evidence in this case than I've ever had in any case in a 20-year law enforcement career.
I want you to know, beloved,
The smooth-talking swindler can't preach his way out of this one. On February 7th, 2005, the jury convicts Abraham Kennard of 116 counts, including mail fraud, money laundering, and income tax evasion. He's sentenced to 17 years in prison and ordered to pay nearly $8 million in restitution. But Kennard's victims will see very little of their investment return.
The people that relied on him did so because they had faith in God, and most of them needed that money desperately and saw him as, in effect, their savior.
Mighty, mighty, mighty good.
Donald Downing put his trust in Kennard, but the 10 churches Downing recruited put their trust in him. And today, he's lost more than money.
You can't put a price in losing a friend. Every pastor that I brought in no longer talk with me.
The strong bond that once tied this pastoral brotherhood together now seems strained. But they say their faith in God remains steadfast.
We're Christians, so we're supposed to forgive. We're supposed to love in spite of. So who am I to actually harbor unforgiveness in my heart over a situation that the government has already stepped in and rendered punishment?
But for many, the betrayal runs deep, and not all of Kennard's victims are ready to forgive.
He betrayed his own people. He ripped off his own neighborhood. He took from those who already didn't have much.
Can you say amen?
Anybody who will steal from the church, I don't care what color they are. I don't care if they're a pastor or a pauper. Anybody who will steal for the church, I believe there's a special place in hell for them. That's what I believe.